The fork clattered against my plate louder than I intended, drawing eyes from around the table. There he was, Michael Langford, my sister Clara's new fiancé, flashing that impeccable smile as he passed the mashed potatoes to my dad. "These are incredible, Mrs. Harper. Reminds me of my grandma's recipe back in Chicago," he said, his voice smooth as polished marble. Everyone chuckled.
Charmed.
Clara beamed, her hand on his arm like she'd won the lottery.
But me?
I felt a chill snake down my spine. As a trial attorney who'd grilled enough fraudsters to know when someone's story was scripted, I couldn't shake it. Michael was too flawless, tailored suit hugging his athletic frame just right. Anecdotes timed perfectly. Gaze landing on Clara with calculated adoration. Nobody real is that seamless. And in that moment, as laughter filled the room, I knew this man was hiding something lethal. I just didn't know yet how deep the deception ran. Clara was 28, sharp as a tack, running finances for Harper Innovations, our family's tech startup turned powerhouse. She'd always been the golden child, top of her class at Stanford, turning down Wall Street offers to build something real with Dad.
Me.
Daniel Harper, 35, had taken the law route, specializing in white-collar crime at a firm in downtown San Francisco. I'd seen enough boardroom betrayals to trust my gut when it screamed fraud. And, tonight, at our parents' cozy ranch-style home in the Bay Area suburbs, it was howling. We'd gathered for the usual Sunday dinner. But this one was special, Clara's big reveal. She'd met Michael 4 months ago at a fintech summit in Vegas. He approached me after my panel on blockchain security she'd gushed over the phone earlier. Said my insights blew him away. Now here he was, 33, venture capitalist at Apex Ventures, with a backstory that read like a success manual. Grew up in the Midwest. Ivy League grad. Climbed the ranks fast. He asked Dad about his golf swing with genuine seeming interest. Complimented Mom's garden out back. Even referenced a recent Harper Innovations patent like he'd studied it. But the red flags piled up subtly. His laugh, too measured, syncing perfectly with the group's. His answers to my casual probes. "Where'd you undergrad?" "Michael? Yale. Class of 12. Economics with a minor in comp science." Quick. Detailed. But his eyes flicked away for a split second, like he was recalling lines from a cue card. Clara caught my stare and shot me a be nice glance. She was radiant, happier than I'd seen her since her last breakup 2 years ago, when some jerk ghosted her after she turned down a promotion to stay local. I wanted to be happy for her. But perfection like Michael's? It smelled like a setup. After dessert, as we lingered over coffee, I excused myself to the backyard patio, needing air. The fog rolling in from the bay matched the haze in my mind. Clara followed minutes later, her engagement ring catching the porch light, a modest diamond that screamed thoughtful, not flashy. "Danny, what's with the interrogation?" "Michael's great. Dad loves him already." Her voice was light, but her eyes pleaded. "I'm just protective, sis. 4 months to engaged? That's fast." I kept my tone even, not wanting to ignite the fight brewing.
She sighed,
crossing her arms. "We're not kids. I know what I want. He's stable, kind, ambitious like me. Why can't you trust my judgment?" "Because your judgment's clouded by that Hollywood charm," I thought, but aloud. "Okay, I'll ease up.
Just
tell me more about him." "Family? Friends. His parents passed young. Car accident. No siblings. Moved around a lot for work." She softened, touching my arm. "Give him a chance."
"Danny."
"For me." I nodded, hugging her, but the unease gnawed deeper. That night, driving back to my apartment in the city, I couldn't let it go. Michael's digital trail? I started with the basics. LinkedIn, spotless. Endorsements from big names at Apex. But all recent, past 2 years. Before that,
Thin.
Facebook, created 14 months ago. Posts about industry events. A few scenic shots of San Fran hikes. No old college buddies tagging him in throwbacks. Instagram. Curated perfection. Him at conferences. With colleagues in suits, but faces generic. No personal chaos like drunken weddings or family reunions. Real people leave crumbs, embarrassing ones. Michael? Sanitized like a corporate brochure. By 2 a.m., I called my buddy Raj, a cybersecurity whiz I'd met on a fraud case. Need a favor. Deep dive on this guy, Michael Langford, Apex Ventures. Raj whistled low when he called back 2 days later. Your sister's beau? Clean as a whistle, too clean. Online presence starts abruptly 14 months ago. No archive stuff. No deep web echoes. Like he materialized. Employment. Apex confirms he's there. But when I poked ex-employers, scripted vibes. One HR rep sounded like she was reading from a memo. My pulse quickened. Keep digging. Quietly. Meanwhile, life plodded on. Clara invited me to brunch with them at a trendy spot in the Mission District. Michael was impeccable again, ordering for the table with charm, sharing a funny story about a deal gone sideways that ended in triumph. Clara hung on every word, but I noticed he deflected personal digs. Any exes we should know about? I joked lightly. Ancient history, he said with a wink, steering to Clara's work. Tell him about the new encryption algo.
Babe.
Harper Innovations was on the cusp of launching a game-changer, quantum-resistant encryption software, worth billions if it hit market first. Clara, as CFO, had the keys, financials, code access, strategy. A thought hit like ice water. What if Michael wasn't after Clara? What if he was after the company? I cross-checked Apex Ventures. Buried in filings, minority stake held by Sentinel Group, Harper's arch-rival in a nasty IP lawsuit. Sentinel had been accused of poaching Harper engineers last year. Coincidence? My gut said no. Raj confirmed it. Apex has ties, shared board members with Sentinel subsidiaries. Not direct, but enough for influence. And Michael? Shows up at Apex sporadically. Consultants whisper he's a special projects guy. Vague as hell. I needed more. Hired a PI. Elena Vargas. Ex-FBI. Expert in industrial sabotage. This screams honeypot, she said after reviewing. Fake romance to extract intel. Seen it in Tech Wars. Prove it.
She did.
Dug up Michael's real ID. Ethan Blackwell. 33. Failed actor from NYC. Headshots matched same chiseled jaw, but with desperate ambition in his eyes. Vanished from auditions 3 years back. Right as a shadowy firm, Elite Liaisons, ramped up. They hire charmers for roles, infiltrate via relationships, steal secrets. My world tilted. Clara was the mark. The engagement party loomed like a storm cloud over the Harper family estate in Marin County. String lights twinkled over the lawn. Jazz floated from speakers. Guests mingled with champagne flutes. Clara, in a flowing blue dress, glowed as Michael worked the crowd, shaking hands with Harper execs, dropping insider jokes about venture funding. I stood by the bar, nursing a scotch, watching his every move. Elena's report burned in my pocket. Ethan Blackwell had a rap sheet of small-time cons before going pro. Elite Liaisons? Linked to half a dozen espionage busts. Always one step ahead. But Clara? Blissful ignorance. She'd frozen me out after our last talk. When I'd hinted at doubts. Danny, Stop. You're ruining this.
Now.
Here I was, the outlier in a sea of celebration. Dad pulled me aside near the buffet. Son, ease up. Michael's solid. Checked him out myself, good references. You ran a background? Hope flickered. Basic stuff. Clean. Dad clapped my shoulder. Clara's happy. Let it be. But clean was the problem. I cornered Michael by the pool later. Away from ears. Congrats.
Man.
Clara's lucky. He smiled that perfect smile. I'm the lucky one. Your sister's extraordinary.
Yeah. Hey.
Random question. Yale 12.
Right?
Any profs stand out? A micro pause. Professor Klein in econ. Tough but fair. Smooth recovery. But his jaw tightened. I nodded. Filing it. Later. Elena confirmed. Klein taught poli-sci. Not econ.
Slip.
The party dragged. Clara danced with Michael. Her laugh genuine. His calculated. I left early. Texting her. Great night. Proud of you. No reply. Back home. I pace my loft. City lights mocking my isolation. Elena called. Got more. Elites pattern. Target high-access execs. Build trust fast. Marry if needed. Extract. Vanish. Sentinel likely the client. Your encryption tech would crush their market share. How to nail him?
Bait.
Make him think he's got access. Catch him red-handed. The plan twisted my gut. Use Clara as unwitting lure. I hated it. But alternatives? She'd never believe without proof. First, mend fences. I emailed Clara. Sis. Sorry for being a jerk. Therapy's helping control issues from cases. Want to support you. Coffee. She bit after days. Fine. One shot. We met at a cafe overlooking the Golden Gate. She looked wary. Ring glinting. Danny. You hurt me. Michael's confused why you hate him. I don't. Was projecting my crap. Happy for you now. Lies tasted bitter. But necessary.
She softened.
Really?
Yeah. Hey.
Dad wants me to drop investor docs at your place. Launch prep. Okay if I swing by. Michael's there sometimes? She hesitated. Then, sure. He's remote Tuesdays. Tell him hi. Hook set. Tuesday afternoon. I arrived at Clara's sleek condo in Soma. Briefcase in hand. Empty save for a dummy USB labeled encryption prototype version 3.2. Elena had rigged it with trackers. FBI looped in. As this crossed into federal territory, Michael answered. Casual in chinos. Daniel. Clara mentioned. Come in. Sorry again for doubts. Big brother mode. I forced a grin. Water under. Coffee.
Nah.
Quick drop. In her home office. I set the case down. These are financials. And this. I flashed the USB. Prototype code. Clara's reviewing security. Don't want it at HQ. Can you pass along? His eyes lingered, greed flashing before the mask snapped back. Of course. I left. Heart hammering. Parked blocks away with Elena and FBI agent Reyes in a van. We watched via hidden cam in the briefcase. Michael waited 10 minutes. Then, office door locked. Laptop out. USB plugged. He attached a cloner device. Fingers flying. Texted someone. Acquired. Extracting. Go, Reyes barked. Agents swarmed. We burst in. Michael, Ethan froze. USB in hand. What the? Ethan Blackwell. Reyes cuffed him. Arrested for espionage. Wire fraud. IP theft. Clara rushed home after my emergency call. Face ashen at the chaos.
Danny?
Michael?
Sis.
He's not Michael. Real name Ethan. Actor hired by elite liaisons to spy on Harper via you. She laughed hysterically. Insane. Reyes intervened. Ma'am, we've tracked elite for months. Blackwell's their star, 7 Ops. Sentinel paid for your tech. Ethan, mask shattered. Sneered from the couch.
Job's a job.
You were easy, lonely exec. Ripe for romance. Clara crumpled.
You.
Proposed. Said you loved me. Script. Would have wed. Grabbed what I needed.
Split.
But your brother. He glared at me. She slapped him, hard. Agents hauled him out. Clara turned to me, tears streaming.
How?
Why didn't I see? You trusted. He's pro. I held her as she sobbed, guilt and relief warring inside me. The aftermath hit like a tidal wave, crashing over our family in waves of shock, anger, and fragile rebuilding. Clara holed up in her condo for days, blinds drawn, ignoring calls from work. I'd check on her daily, bringing takeout from our favorite Thai spot, sitting in silence as she stared at the wall. I feel so stupid. Danny, she'd whisper, voice raw. Every kiss, every promise, fake. How do I trust again? You're not stupid, I'd say, squeezing her hand. He was designed to fool, trained for it, but doubt lingered in her eyes, a shadow that twisted my heart. I'd saved the company, but at what cost to her spirit? Harper Innovations locked down security audits, FBI briefings.
Dad.
Ever the stoic founder, patted my back. You did right.
Son.
Could have lost everything. Mom fussed over Clara, baking pies and offering hugs. But the tension simmered. They'd sided with Clara initially, dismissing my paranoia.
Now.
Apologies came haltingly. We should have listened, Mom said over dinner one night. Thought you were overreacting. Instincts, I replied quietly. Saved us. The trial loomed, but Ethan cut a deal, spilled on elite, naming Sentinel execs. Headlines blared. Tech espionage ring busted. Actor posed as fiancé. Clara avoided the news, focusing on therapy. Sessions helped unpack the betrayal, the gaslighting. He made me question you, she told me once. Called you jealous. I believed it. I'd do it again, I said. Even if you hated me forever. She managed a weak smile. Lucky I don't. Weeks blurred into months. Clara returned to work part-time, her edge sharper, eyes wary. The launch delayed but fortified, new protocols born from the scare. I consulted on the case, testifying about spotting the fraud. Firms called, offering gigs in corporate security. Harper instincts, one joked. But fulfillment came from Clara's slow thaw. One rainy evening, we hiked the trails near Muir Woods, mist cloaking the redwoods like secrets. Remember when we were kids, she said, breath fogging. You always spotted the cheats in Monopoly. Cheaters never win. I echoed our old mantra. She stopped, facing me. You won this time. Saved me from God. Marriage to a ghost. Not a win if it broke you. It didn't. Bent. Maybe. But I'm mending. She hugged me fierce. Thanks for being the pain in my ass who cares too much. As spring bloomed, Clara dated tentatively, a colleague set up. Nothing serious. Vetting him yourself? She teased. Only if asked. The real healing came at a family barbecue. Laughter genuine again. Michael, Ethan, faded to a cautionary tale. But the scar remained, perfection's peril. Echoes of the deception lingered, manifesting in unexpected ways. Clara threw herself into Harper's launch, channeling hurt into innovation. Late nights at the office. She'd text me, tweaked the all-go Ethan proof. Humor masked the pain. But I saw the vigilance in her now. A hardened resolve that both proud and saddened me. I dove deeper into my work, taking on espionage cases with renewed fire. One involved a similar setup, a phony exec romancing a rival's engineer. Spotting the tells felt personal, like avenging Clara's trust. Elena and I partnered often, her dry wit cutting through tension. You're a natural bloodhound, Harper. Learned from the best, my gut. But nights alone in my loft. Doubts crept. Had I overstepped? Manipulated Clara with that bait? The ends justified. But the means haunted. A therapist, ironic. After my lie to Clara, helped unpack it. Protecting family isn't villainy, she said. But forgive yourself for the hurt caused. Forgiveness came slowly. Clara invited me to a launch preview, Harper's encryption demo for investors. The room buzzed, screens glowing with code she'd safeguarded. As she presented, poised and fierce, pride swelled. Afterward, in the lobby, couldn't have done it without you.
Danny.
Literally. We make a team. Post-launch. Success poured in contracts. Acclaim. Sentinel crumbled under indictments. Their CEO facing prison. Ethan got 5 years. His charm useless behind bars. Clara's personal rebound surprised us. At a conference, she met Liam, a real venture guy. Messy divorce in his past. No polish. He's imperfect, she confided over wine. Laughs too loud. Forgets anniversaries. Real. Sounds promising. You approving? Trust your gut now.
She did.
Their relationship built slow. No rush to rings. Family dinners returned. Lighter. With Liam's genuine awkwardness a balm after Ethan's slickness. One night, stargazing on the estate roof like old times, Clara mused. What if you'd let it go? Married a lie. Company gutted. Couldn't. Love means acting. Even when it hurts. Grateful for your stubborn ass. Years later, the story of Michael Langford, Ethan Blackwell, became family lore. Whispered at gatherings with a mix of awe and caution. Harper Innovations thrived, a titan in tech security, its foundations strengthened by the near miss.
Clara rose to CEO.
Her leadership marked by empathy forged in betrayal. She married Liam in a quiet ceremony, their vows raw and real. No perfection in sight.
Me?
I founded a consultancy, Instinct Security, helping firms spot infiltrators. Cases piled up. Each a reminder. Deception wears many masks, often the most appealing. But the true legacy? The bond with Clara. Unbreakable now. We'd argue. Laugh. Protect fiercely. At her wedding. Toasting. To real love, messy. Honest. Worth the fight. She clinked glasses. And to brothers who see what we can't. In quiet moments, I'd ponder the ethics. Was intuition enough to upend lives? The answer lingered. Ambiguous. Trust your gut, but weigh the cost. For in chasing perfection, we risk the human heart. And sometimes, the greatest danger is believing too easily in fairy tales scripted by foes. What if the perfect partner is the perfect lie? It leaves you wondering, in a world of facades, how do we discern the genuine from the guise?